Hello, everyone. Oh, there, I can see the chat now. I don't think I saw the chat before. How's everyone doing? Oh, I see. Oh, there's people from everywhere. Ohio, Florida. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure which does she mean my technique? I love this technique and card. What printer would you recommend to print your free? Oh, I printed in, yeah, I printed it in an 80 or 90 Nina cardstock. But any white cardstock would probably work. I used a laser printer, but you can definitely use, what is the other one called? Oh my God, a jet printer. But just like be careful with it. Make sure that it dries really well. Even I've heat set it before as well to make sure that it doesn't run. Hey, Ontario, Canada, that's me. And so is our host. So that's nice. Do you get different results with a straw or with different hole? I'm not sure what they mean. Bore size? Maybe hole size? I don't know. So I found that, I mean, obviously, the bigger the hole, I would say, the more air you can blow through. I was able to control the air myself by blowing less or more or slower and faster. That was like better for me to do it slower or faster. I had a hard time. I've used the thing, the Tim Holtz tool as well, but I find that it's a little bit harder to control than the straw. The straw, this is the card for those of you who have not seen the class yet. But I find that it's much harder to control with that tool. While with a straw, you can really like go closer to where you want to move the actual alcohol link. So yeah. Besides your alcohol method, can you use watercolors with water too? Yes, that's actually Ruth. That was in when I did my video on my YouTube channel. You can go to my YouTube channel. That's actually what I did. I took watercolors and I did the same exact method with it's blow art. I mean, we used to do it in kindergarten. So I basically just I put some like wet medium, like water. You can also do it with liquid acrylics. And I just blew it all over the place, which is really fun to do. So yeah, it's one of my really go-to techniques. The results are really nice. What is my favorite medium? Oh my gosh, that is a really hard question. Like, in terms of like, uh, favorite, oh my gosh. In terms of like using coloring, I would say probably acrylics and watercolors for two different things. I mean, I can't just pick one. It's really hard. But in terms of like medium for mixed media, I would say gel medium, the Liquitex one. This one is my favorite. Let me just like show you. This is my favorite medium because you can collage with it. It's my favorite. So yeah, that's my YouTube channel. Yes, and you can go there. And it's my latest video. Had a few techniques. One was really cool with salt, and the other one was um, the blow technique. So yeah. Where am I? Oh, sorry, that was okay. I have used a straw but get dizzy. Any suggestions to keep from getting dizzy? Yeah, take breaks in between. And I would say don't blow really hard. Actually, I was getting uh, results. I was getting better results when I was doing it slow because it was I was able to control where the liquid was going and also make it more wet. So if you think that you have a hard time blowing, then make it more wet and maybe take a deep breath in between. Maybe take a few breaths in between. Yes, I am. And so are you. I saw your name before in one of the chats, and I'm like, oh, that she must be Israeli. I was born in Israel. I actually didn't grow up in Israel. I grew up in Venezuela, so I speak both Hebrew and Spanish, but I live in Ontario, Canada, so I also speak English. So I have a mixed accent of many different things. Um, what materials do you recommend practicing with? Acrylics and watercolor paints, watered down or less. Oh, wait, hold on. Acrylic and watercolor paints, watered down, are less expensive than alcohol inks. Yes. Um, Yes, I mean, you can get watercolors, I would recommend to get like a little bit better watercolors, but acrylic paints, if you want to just start, especially experimenting, go to the dollar store and get really cheap ones, or go on the Hobby Lobby or Joann's on sale and just get a bunch of cheap acrylics. The watercolors, you might not get them as pigmented, so that's a different thing. In terms of alcohol inks, you can start like there's sometimes really big sales if you're from the US, which I'm not, but really big sales in Joann's. You can get like alcohol inks for really cheap. They sometimes go on 40% off. So, I mean, not that I'm trying to recommend that, but and you can, I've seen people make their own alcohol inks. So you could like use isopropyl alcohol and some, I'm not sure how, but you can probably look it up on YouTube. Have you ever tried to use some foods to make art with? Yes, go ahead and on my YouTube channel. Actually, I have a whole playlist on using foods. I use foods for monoprinting. I've used foods like salt, like on watercolor. I've used tea on art journaling to create really, really cool pages. I used hibiscus tea and I used regular tea. I've used matcha powder. Uh, Honestly, I go all out on things. I just don't like wasting food. So I will only use things that are like either going to the garbage or are really old that I forgot about and I found in my cupboard. So yes, go check out my YouTube channel. On acetate. I would say yes, because you need yes, you can do this on acetate or any smooth surface. I would assume yes. I would just recommend to experiment, especially if you have the markers already. If you have it, I mean, alcohol ink works on acetate, so I don't see why this wouldn't work. I don't know. I've never tried, so I don't know how easy it is to control, but it should be the same because you can substitute acetate for UPO. And actually, I didn't use UPO, but UPO can be used as well. Yes. Um, I am self-taught. Everything that I learned, I taught myself. Over the years, I've been on, oops, my hair is like, I've been on doing, I mean, YouTube, I've been since 2000 and actively since 2013. So I guess 10 years. Um, but I've been experimenting my whole life. I feel like I've been an artist my whole life. I've done, I started, I mean, I was a kid, I used to do painting and watercolors, not well or anything like that, but I used to love doing that. I've tried sculpting with like clay. Actually, I started scrapbooking. That's how I started this, but I'm not scrapbooking anymore. So I actually just went in a different direction. So yeah. Do you do any other crafts? Uh, Not specifically like quilting, and that actually cannot. This one thing that I'm not into is not sewing, quilting, all those. I'm not. My go-to art is art journaling. It is my favorite thing to do, although somebody recently called me, not called me, emailed me and asked me if I was getting back to art journaling because I haven't done it in a while. I've been doing more card making. And I told her that I'm stuck. I'm not sure if many of you have experienced this before, but I am a little bit stuck creatively. So I am trying to, because I love creating, I'm trying to do simple techniques like the blow art, the salt technique that I just did. I try to do things that are easy right now just so I could get that like creativity going, because my art journaling right now I'm a little bit stuck, even though that is my favorite thing to do. So yeah. No, it does not. I mean, I don't actually leave the food on the thing except for the tea. That's the only one that you can use tea to dye things. So I was I use that to kind of like, you can use tea instead of watercolors. So that's the only thing, and it doesn't rot or anything. I've used coffee grounds and I've mixed them with gel medium to make a texture. Same with salt. So that one doesn't go. Everything else that I've used, it's been just to make like marks. So for example, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that like an old orange rind I was able to use like and make like orange like markings, like like it looks like an orange. Okay, so that was for the gel printing. So no, it will not leave any smell or any mold. It will not mold. Um, so yeah, but you can always seal everything. Yeah. Hey, Missy. Okay, Tiffany is one of my best friends, so she is being cheeky and asking me how many cards I make a week. Well, she knows that I don't make that many cards. I if I had to consider myself, I a card maker or am I an art journaling or I am an art journaler who loves to make cards. So I don't make as many cards as let's say Tiffany does, but when I make cards, I I really love like trying the new techniques. So I love making backgrounds. So that's my problem. I have like millions of backgrounds and more backgrounds. Like I have backgrounds coming out of my wazoo, but I actually never put them together. I mean, I do, don't get me wrong. Like I do put them together simply because I just get lazy. I find that the thing that I enjoy the most is actually making the backgrounds. And then when I have to like do everything else, I get very lazy. So that's the answer is no, I don't know. Did you include a link for your little alcohol bottle with the tiny nozzle in your supply list? Oh shoot. I should have. Um, I hope I did. If not, just email me, please. Because I can't remember. It's from Amazon, but yeah, I can't remember. But I hope I did. If not, email me, please. I don't remember. I should have. Um, Best benefit for art journaling. The best benefit there is, I would say there's two, and it depends on like in which philosophy you're in. Art journaling for me is kind of a place where I can release my emotions and create from the heart and not have to think about, I'm not making a canvas where I care like how it's going to look or I'm going to be hanging it in my house. I'm just doing it for myself to release like to kind of like release that creativity. So that's one part of it. The other one, a part of our journaling that is really beneficial is that you can test the techniques on a little book and a little paper. And if you don't like it, you can just turn the page and just start again and try something else or cover it up and do it again. So I really like art journaling. So let's say you want to try a technique up for card making, but you don't know if it's going to turn out really well. You can buy yourself a little book, an art journal, and test the technique on this paper so you don't ruin your good stuff. And then when you have mastered that technique, you can go ahead and transfer it with the colors that you like, the textures you like onto a card or onto a canvas, onto whatever you're making. Um, yeah. I basically what medium. So I use it depends there's so many different types of art journaling. There's people that just use watercolors and markers and pencil crayons to do art journaling. Somebody like Diane Reevely, she just like uses like she just paints. It's all flat. Like for my pages are more 3D. So I use things like gesso and gel medium, collage pieces. I'll use magazines, I'll use tissue paper, washi tape. I'll use paint, I'll use watercolors. I just continuously experiment. This is how I teach myself. The only way to really learn how to do anything is to just continuously trying and experimenting to see um, how you how you like it. And if you don't, then you don't have to do it again. And if you love the technique, then you continuously better yourself. Um, do you have Oh, so where are the classes? Yeah, so the classes are if you are yeah, maybe she can explain. I mean, where are the classes? So if you're signed up for the free one, then it's you should have gotten an email this morning. One of them is my classes with yeah, there's a schedule. And if you upgraded for the ultimate bundle, then not only you get all the classes to keep for as long as you need, and you can rewatch them many times. So you will get all the classes that way. And you also get like bonuses like this, like my class on this, oops, sorry. This I did. It's like it's a kind of expanding on the same technique that I did with the tree, but taking it to like a whole new level. So yeah, so that's the ultimate bundle. Yeah, so there is a schedule. Do I have any crafty quirks? That's so yeah. Do I have any? Well, I think me and Tiffany have a similar one, but she kind of like, yeah, she made, we love adding splatters. I don't know. We get, that's something that I really like, we like doing. It's like, getting messy, getting like my hands dirty. A lot of people don't like that. They like being very neat. And if you see my messy area, which right now it's clean because I cleaned it out, it's not as clean as some card makers are. I'm more of a messy, inky, and very, my everything is like kind of on, not dirty. I mean, like filthy. I just mean like paint and watercolors and things. And every time I always have people asking me, "What's on your hands?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's my paint." And yes, I have a YouTube channel. You can put it on. Yeah, oh, there it is. Thank you. That's my YouTube channel. There's lots of videos there. Do you set aside a certain time frame to art daily? For how long? I find I get distracted by life. Yes. So I don't do I create when I want, and when my heart feels like it wants to. I cannot. I have too much to do during the day. I get very distracted by life as well. I get distracted also by social media, which is really bad. But yeah. So no, I don't have a daily thing. I create when I want, and when I feel like my heart needs it. So that's my answer. Yeah. Um, uh, oh, maybe so. Oh, yeah, there's a question there. What do I use to get ink off my fingers? Soap and water? Yeah, I mean, sometimes it stays. Actually, funny enough, when shampoo helps, when you actually shampoo in your hair, that takes it off. So if you shower at night, which I do, so it will get it. And oh, dishwashing, yeah, and dishwashing. Yes, that's true too. Uh, what are your favorite colors? So my colors that I gravitate towards are the blues and the greens. Those are my favorite, but I go in seasons. So I mean, I don't know if it has to do with anything, but sometimes when I'm very, I don't even know when that happens, but I end up like wanting to create for a few weeks just with orange, red, yellow, and magenta. I tend to like pack it all up, and a few weeks in a row, I will actually just create with those. But my go-to colors are blue, light blue, green. Those are my colors that I like using the most. So yeah. How long did it take you to feel like you were good at this technique? This specific technique took me a while, not a while, but you know what I mean? Like I actually did a few tries with it. I originally had another idea where I wanted to create poinsettias, but it didn't work out. And then I thought, oh, I could make a tree. And trying. Um, I continued like basically trying until I figure out what was I doing wrong. It took me quite a few tries. And when I was actually, that's why when in my class, I specifically said that you need to leave space, for example, in between. That was the space made a huge difference. And I didn't do that in the first 2 times or 3 times that I tried. So every time I added a layer, I had to leave like white space. So that way the tree branches could overlap. So yeah. Uh, what is one of my favorite projects I have made? Okay, let me move my head. That's one of my favorite projects. That one. It's a canvas collage done with actual pieces of my own um, monoprinted pages. I do love that create. That's why I display it also with all the old paintbrushes. I do love that as well. I actually am surrounded by all my artwork. There's not really much more room in my around me. That one that you see over there, sorry, the love one, that's two canvases put together. It's actually my husband and I did this video where I see if I could teach my husband, who has never done art, to see if he could actually create mixed media. Could he do mixed media? It's a video on my channel. And I don't even think you can tell which side, who did which side, because he followed my instructions really well. And I don't know if it has to do with that he's a good learner or I'm a good teacher, maybe a part of both, but it was really cool to do. So yeah. Do I have a favorite season to create for? I think um, I would say fall would be my favorite season to create for. Although I tend to use a lot of flowers, butterflies, and things like that, which is more spring related. But I do love the colors of fall, even though they're not blue. So I don't know why, but the fall, especially in Canada and in the US, where you actually get those beautiful trees. However, if I have to choose a favorite season, will probably be summer, just because it's the least stressful out of all of them. I don't have like the scheduling, the routine. I can just kind of be more free, but that's nothing to do with creativity, because I'm usually being too free and I don't create as much. No, I don't listen to music while crafting. I actually cannot listen to music because it distracts me. I can't concentrate. There's people that can work with music and helps them. I am the opposite. Like I feel my head is so filled with thoughts that art just helps me kind of like let everything out. So the music puts more thoughts in my head, puts more words in my head. So no, I don't listen to any music. Um, do I have anything exciting coming up? Uh, in well, I am actually joining this facilitator program. This is unrelated to card making, but and I'm going to be teaching one of the classes. It's kind of like almost like art therapy. It's called Soul Pages, and I will be teaching a class for them for their fall season coming up next weekend. But it's a whole thing called the Wheel of Time, where you're basically creating more art journaling related, and you're just doing it for yourself to kind of help yourself through things. And I'm teaching one of the classes, but I'm also going to be taking and going to actually take their facilitated program where I'm going to learn how to do that so I can teach their method to other people. So that's exciting for me. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, no, that's it. So I don't know, any more questions? Yeah, I don't actually I see that fall somebody else has fall. So I don't celebrate Christmas. I have to celebrate Hanukkah, but I do love the Christmas season. I do love, well, like all the colors and the lights and the things. But I would say that fall, the colors of fall are my favorites. Yes, you could use Yupo paper, so you don't have to use that other one. You could use white Yupo, and that would work as well. Or try like the other person said, try acetate. Um, I would you could try photo paper if it's shiny. You need something that is very like smooth. Whatever you would use alcohol inks, you could try the alcohol ink paper from Tim Holtz. That might work as well. So I think Tim Holtz also has Yupo, so you could try it from there. So yeah, I would try those. So yeah. Oh, it's time to wrap up. Wow, okay, that went quick. Uh, Teal and peacock colors really look good. Yeah, I agree. Like I love like teal. Oh, actually, teal is my favorite color. I forgot to say that. Blues, yes, but teal, turquoise, that's my favorite of all. So I forgot to say that. So thank you. Yeah, glossy photo paper would work as well. So anything else? Oh yeah, yeah, tag me if you created a card with my technique. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a fantastic creative day. I'm so excited. Bye, everyone.